Let's address the elephant in the digital room. People aren't reading anymore. Apparently, or so we're told by every think piece, TED Talk, and doomsday professor with a Wi-Fi connection. The claim? That deep, sustained, contemplative reading is vanishing faster than your attention span at a staff meeting without snacks. And the culprits? Social media, AI, screens, millennials, TikTok, cats, probably. So let's ask the big question. Are we really reading less? Well, sure. Sort of. Maybe. According to data, American adults read fewer books in 2021 than ever before. That's a measurable fact, not just something your high school English teacher shouted into her wine glass. And our beloved teens? Only 14% of 13-year-olds read for fun almost every single day in 2023. A nosedive from the 35% who did in the ancient year of 1984, when people apparently had no fun and only books. But here's the twist. While book reading may be down, text consumption is way up. You're probably reading something right now. This isn't telepathy. It's just a different format. Tweets, captions, texts, Reddit manifestos, and yes, YouTube captions. We are drowning in words. Just not the kind that look nice in a leather-bound edition. Social media, we're told, is the grim reaper of reading. It devours our attention span like a ravenous raccoon in a garbage buffet. But hold on, not all reading is created equal. Skimming tweets about your cousin's conspiracy theories isn't quite the same as reading War and Peace. That's not a criticism, it's just neurology. Deep reading requires different brain circuits. It's immersive, contemplative, and mentally demanding. Meanwhile, your brain treats TikTok captions like mental popcorn. Tasty, quick, and immediately forgotten. Still, is it fair to blame Instagram for the decline of the novel? Well, partially. Social media encourages shallow processing. Our brains adapt to quick hits of info, algorithmic reinforcement, and dopamine loops. Think of it as intellectual junk food. Fun, addictive, but not exactly enriching. And what about the resurrection of orality? This is where things get spicy. According to scholars like Walter Ong, humanity is apparently boomeranging back to a pre-literate state. We're talking meme templates instead of essays, sound bites over arguments, catchphrases over concepts. We're evolving backwards or maybe just sideways. Welcome to the new tribalism, where thought is shaped more by likes and vibes than logic. So now that we've blamed Twitter and Plato, let's talk about the shining new overlord of mental decay, artificial intelligence. Ask ChatGPT to summarize Bleak House, and it spits out a polished recap. Boom. Instant understanding. No effort. This is being accused of AIC-induced cognitive atrophy. The idea that offloading thinking to AI weakens our mental muscles. Memory, attention, critical thinking, leading to an intellectual workout avoidance syndrome, IWAs. It's not sci-fi anymore, it's your everyday chatbot. Yet again, is this new? Humans have always outsourced effort. The typewriter, calculator, search engines, they've all sparked generational panic. Socrates warned writing would ruin memory. Now ChatGPT is doing the job a little faster, not fundamentally different. What even counts as reading anymore? Is reading an ebook somehow less noble than a paperback? Is listening to an audiobook cheating? Are subtitles reading? Yes, Karen, they are. Science says reading is about comprehension, not medium. MRI studies show that audiobooks and silent reading activate many of the same brain regions for language processing, imagination, and memory recall. So that hot take that kids don't read books anymore might just miss that they're consuming entire fantasy novels via podcast-style dramatizations. Who knew? Despite all the digital doom, there's a twist. On TikTok, of all places, a literary subculture is thriving. Welcome to Book Talk, home to viral recommendations, fan edits, and gushing 15-second reviews of books ranging from Colleen Hoover to Emily Dickinson. And guess what? It's working. Publishers report that TikTok drove a 25% increase in young adult book sales in 2022. The #BookTalk tag has over 190 billion views and counting. So yeah, some teens are still reading. They're just doing it between thirst traps and ramen recipes. Now let's talk about deep reading. It's the gold standard. But let's not pretend it was ever easy. Deep reading requires sustained attention, abstract reasoning, memory recall, emotional empathy, cognitive flexibility. Basically, it's a mental marathon. And our modern brains, trained on short bursts of stimulation, struggle with endurance. This isn't your fault. It's evolution meeting modern UX design. Studies show that when people read hyperlinked, skimmable web pages, their comprehension drops compared to reading a linear print article. When we multitask, like checking messages mid-read, retention drops by up to 40%. It's not just that we read less. When we do read, we read worse. Generative AI is amazing at turning complexity into clarity. But it's also an intellectual vending machine. Insert vague prompt, receive detailed answer, no effort required. A 2023 study found that students who relied heavily on AI tools like ChatGPT scored lower on comprehension tasks and displayed weaker reasoning on follow-up questions. Translation: AI is great for answers, not understanding. Worse, reliance on AI tools may cause what's called knowledge illusion. You feel informed because the bot gave you a confident answer, but you can't explain it, apply it, or critically assess it. You're a walking Cliff's Notes reader, not a thinker. So are we doomed to live in a post-literate wasteland, grunting memes at each other? Maybe not. Here's what the science says actually helps. Schedule distraction-free reading blocks. Even 20 minutes a day of deep reading can rebuild focus and comprehension muscles. Use AI as a tutor, not a crutch. Ask for summaries, yes, but then read the original. Use the AI to quiz yourself, not to write for you. Encourage multimodal literacy. Podcasts, audiobooks, long-form YouTube video essays, they count. Literacy in the 21st century is platform agnostic. Teach media literacy in schools. Understanding how algorithms shape your attention is a superpower. Equip kids to recognize manipulation. Embrace slow media. That means long reads, print magazines, non-urgent content. Not everything needs to be bingeable. And don't forget the best brain hack of all. Read what you love. Don't guilt yourself for skipping Tolstoy if you're into thrillers, comics, or romance. The habit matters more than the genre. Some fear that students using ChatGPT will never learn to write again, but that assumes teachers don't adapt. The best educators are embracing AI as a tool for literacy, not a replacement. They're designing assignments that can't be easily faked, encouraging reflective writing, media critique, and multimodal projects. Even big-name universities are experimenting with AI literacy, not banning the bots, but teaching students how to challenge, verify, and remix AI outputs. In other words, critical thinking is still king. Yes, deep reading is declining. Yes, our attention is fragmented. Yes, AI changes how we think, but guess what? We've been here before, and we're still thinking, imagining, dreaming. We're just doing it in new ways. Rather than screaming, "The kids are doomed," maybe we teach them how to read and think better across platforms. We raise media-literate, tool-savvy humans who can enjoy both Tolstoy and TikTok without guilt. We recognize that convenience isn't the enemy, but passivity is. So read something, anything. Read a novel, read a comic, read your AI summary, then fact-check it with the original. Build a habit. Make your brain sweat a little. It'll thank you. And if you've made it this far, congrats, your attention span is elite. Which brings us to this final bit. If you like this video, smash that like button like it's your unread Kindle backlog. Subscribe for more myth-shattering truth bombs from the Debunkers. And drop a comment telling us what you still read. And if it's a cereal box, we won't judge, unless it's Raisin Bran. Until next time, read responsibly and keep questioning everything.